Hello. Please welcome István from Balabit.
Hi, thanks. Yes, I'm István Molnár from Balabit. I work as a compliance and contact marketing specialist at Balabit. And today I would like to demonstrate you how our technology can pinpoint hijacked accounts and how can it prevent them before they obtain any critical information from systems. So the way the presentation will go is I just really, in short, I will describe what is Balabit, the company itself. Then I will make a little story around the demo I will showcase. And for full disclaimer, actually I sadly don't have a demo environment, but I brought a video record regarding that. And I will always pose it at the right point and always describe what is actually going on. So without further ado, I would like to just jump right in. So about Balabit in a bit. So we've been in the IT security business for over almost 2 decades. We mainly focus on privilege access management and also central log management. We have local representation in multiple countries. Budapest is our headquarter. And also we have multiple partnerships globally. Even here with DSS, we have a strong partnership. And without any further ado, I would like to start with the story. So we will have a system administrator called George Peters, who's go by the account name of GYP. And basically, on a daily basis, he accesses via a remote connection his data center using SSH. But one day, he receives an email that seems like it came from his boss's home email address. He doesn't consider as much of it, he just opens it and finds that there's an attachment. Once he opens it, it will come up as a backdoor for a hijacker, because I would tell you that this was an orchestrated attack against GYP. Basically, the attacker for months studied his profile on social media, figured out who his boss is, and basically knew that if he sends an email that seems like was sent by his boss, he will actually open it. The code that was uploaded gave access to his privileged account, which the hacker will use to access the data center. In the meantime, the organization he works at, let's say it's a major bank, has already implemented password management, firewall, and logging. But actually, these will fall short because from these security measurement standpoint, it will look like as if this is a legitimate access to the data center. But luckily, this organization also implemented our privilege access management technology, which comes in 2 portions. One of them is the session manager, which is a monitoring technology, and the account analytics, which is a privileged user behavior analytics portion of it. We will look at the demo from 2 perspectives. One of them is going to be the hacker, who will launch an SSH connection to a server. We'll try to look up if there's any databases running there. And in the meantime, on the other side, there will be a security specialist who will monitor his activities via our session manager and account analytic tools. Basically, here you can see the 2 technologies we will talk about, and you will look in action. And what I described underneath is what functionalities they will perform. So it will start off with the account analytics. It will detect that his activities are very unusual, that what the system already learned about him. It will score his behavior and also report it to the session manager, while the security specialist will be able to monitor him in real time, record the activities he does, and terminate his connection before he does anything harmful. And now to the demo then. Any questions so far maybe, or were you able to hear me? Okay. Just give me a second. And here we have it. Okay, so first of all, what you see here is our Splunk app integration. You will see multiple charts regarding what the privilege activities in this network are, but I would like you to focus on the top numbers. Basically, there are 3 critical sessions running at the same time, from which are 2 suspicious already. The way this works is actually that by this point we recorded a number of sessions regarding these users, and we were able to generate custom profiles regarding their activities. For example, how frequently they use certain commands, how frequently they log in, what protocols they are using to log in. Is it more RDP based or SSH? And also, we record their mouse movement and keystroke dynamics. These are always going to be compared in real time to their behavior. And total, we have 7 sessions running in the network. So, and just now, my colleague will bring up a PuTTY and launch an SSH connection to a designated server. And now, basically, this is the hacker. He already has the username and the account of GYP. And basically, it will be easy for him to gain foothold into the system. And yeah, he just logged in. And what you can see, first of all, is that the total number of sessions just increased. This is easily viewable for security specialists who continuously monitor everything via Splunk or other event management solutions. But after this, what you will see is that the hacker will delete all the existing log files regarding his activity and turns off rsyslog, the log management tool that would generate further logs about his activity. And yep, just a second. And yet again, a notable difference just occurred, that there are one more notable session. This is already unusual regarding GYP's activity. He not regularly or not even at once did this before. The next on the line is that the security specialist recognized this, and he would like to further investigate what is actually going on. So he will go into the statistics about this user's profile. He already sees that, okay, just for the disclaimer, so our ratings are ranging from a 0 to 100, and already that he turned off the logging already triggered a plus 67% unusuality in the activities. And his overall, but there are multiple other measurements where okay, it will come back to this later on. Anyway, so that was the overall score of his, what you see on top, because there were different factors. For example, also his keystroke dynamics triggered additional alerts because they were totally unusual to how GYP types when he's using SSH. What you see now and what is actually going on is that we went into our session manager, our monitoring technology, where we're going to, in real time, monitor the session.
The monitoring the session, it means that you read everything what he typed in the console?
Let me just go into further, but yeah, I will tell it when it's visible. That's the easiest. So we have a so-called session viewer, which will be dragged in just a second. Yep, that's it. It will be starting off soon. Yeah. So basically, this is how it looks. And sorry, just one more. He will drag also this one here. So this is how the session record works. So we actually see everything he types. If this is not an SSH but an RDP, we even see the window titles. So yeah, it's like a full view of the display screen of the user. Also, it's interesting that it captures the commands. So it's not visible in this demo, but actually, when you replay it, you can, as a subtitle, see how they are typing in the words and how they come up as commands. And you would be able to jump to the next interesting part. But this is real-time monitoring, so in this case, you're just witnessing what he's actually doing. Yeah, that's a further note. So in RDP, you can even scan for window titles as well, because we have real-time text search. So further on with the story, or sorry, did I answer the question you were asking?
Yeah.
Okay. So further on with the story is basically the hacker is going to look for a MySQL database on the network. He will connect to it, and basically he would like to list what is inside the database. He found one notable folder, the e-commerce, and he will join into that one. Okay, this once again triggered a lot of important information in the analytics. Maybe if I can stop it at the right point when, jeez, sorry. That's a good one. Okay, this is what I wanted to highlight. So these are the, under here, you can see the various analytics portions. So for example, host login. So what IP address he used to log in from. We have keystroke dynamics, for example, the commands. And it's hard to read, honestly. So let me just check it here. Yeah, commands, keystroke, window titles. Actually, because it's an SSH, we don't have any of those, but you get the point in this case. So yet again, it raised the score due to his search in the network. And now we will go into actually checking his profile in our analytics portion. So this is GYP and his host login. So the system he used to log in from was suspicious, and also additional information we can have here, like, the commands also triggered some notable things. The login time, that seemed usual, so around the same time as GYP actually does it. Frequent sessions is basically that what commands and how frequently he's using them. Keystroke dynamics, host login, that was suspicious, and we don't have any Windows titles due to it's an SSH connection. But he already reached a very high risk score, so this really gives an impression that something is going on in the system. And next up is, basically he will go further into looking into what information is contained in the e-commerce. He will go into the customer records. And yeah, he listed all the information. And basically what he found is all the credit card information for the customers that the company has. This would come as a gold mine for a hacker. So he will definitely would like to obtain this information. So what he will do is dump all this information into a test file. So it seems like he's not going to download it, just testing if he's capable of using his credentials. So this is additionally just masking his movements, but you will see. So yeah, he saves it into a testing file. And now is going to be the interesting part. So at this point, he's going to type in the SCP command. Basically, at this point, three things could have happened. First of all, by reaching 100 risk score, if we have set the system to this, or at any certain level of risk, he would have been terminated automatically. Or by this point, even the person who is monitoring him could have terminated his session. But actually, this is one more extra feature that we have, that we can blacklist certain commands, or basically any commands you prefer. So if he, for example, would have tried to execute a sudo command, but in this case an SCP to secure a copy command, it will terminate his connection in real time, and you will just see what that means in a bit. And that's what happened actually. So the system was able to terminate his connection because it was a blacklisted command. So overall, that was the demo I wanted to present you. And And yeah, I would like to open it up to any questions. So as a conclusion, I might add that So basically, the system was able to detect this person's activities and identify him as somebody who just stole an account and wanted to perform something malicious, yet we were still able to stop him in real time. And yeah, basically, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
What if it was a bash script? Will you record all the commands that were inside?
Yes, so that's also a use case we are having when we are identifying scripted account. If somebody, let's say a third party is claiming that he's doing 8 hours of work, but instead he just wrote a script, we can identify it because it will be very strict. You know, login time is 100% accurate and not like a second later logging in or logging out. And also his typing is like, it's too automated to come up as like a person would have done it. So yeah, that's one reason also to use it.
And it's interesting, this logic, how you build this, what is allowed and what is not allowed, and it's a base of predefined the things that you already have in your product, and you can customly add. For example, I would like to change something.
Basically, it's more up to the customer. So yeah, we have just a few ideas, but usually our customers have either put it in one by one, or either if you store it in the database, or if you connect it to password management where you can identify what privileges each user can have, that can also count as how to blacklist these commands for them.
So the client is building this system by themselves. It's not predefined.
To a certain point, it's predefined, but it's totally customizable. I would say it like that. Because yeah, even we cannot. So it depends on the situation, because even some users will have the ability to download something because that's his that's part of his job maybe. Okay, it's an extreme scenario, but I just wanted to give a point that it depends on the customer's preferences what we customize it to.
And the question: do you use the Splunk? Can we use another SIEM, the Curator?
Oh, yeah, I heard that before in a certain way, yes. So we don't have a dashboard version of it, but we can feed all the session records data translated into logs into QRadar. So that works in that perspective, yes. And it gives you much more better detail because you're not just going to have info on login time and how long the session took when he logged out, but actually every command will go into a log that will go into your QRadar.